Alrighty, good morning and happy Saturday as we welcome you into VA Memorial Stadium, home of the Ohio High School District Baseball Tournament. Along with Shane Combs, my name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you back here to Chillicothe. Shane, we've already got a handful of games under our belt this week. We've got 4 more on tap today, and now two tomorrow as some of the district semis from yesterday got postponed to today. The first couple of games here this morning and early afternoon, or 2 of them, and 2 of the finals we thought we were going to have today got pushed to tomorrow. So Mother Nature strikes again here this spring.
Well, it's really been par for the course throughout the year, and you just got to stay ready. Obviously this spring has prepared the kids and the coaching staffs for these types of things. You're excited to play all week. You wake up yesterday, you see it all. What happens as a coach and a player, you see all these games taking place all week long, and you're excited for yours. You wake up on your game day, and it rains pretty much from the time you get up to the time you go to bed. Everything gets pushed back. You got to be able to control the emotions. You got to be able to stay ready. Not only do they change the day on these guys, they change the venue. Probably a little bit of a luckier draw for Southeastern on the bus trip this morning, but nonetheless, all excuses aside, you get on this stage, you show up here, and you're excited to play for an opportunity to advance to a district championship.
Yeah, Shane, these first 2 Division VI District Semifinals originally scheduled for South Point. Yesterday, obviously, the rain pretty much canceled all games except for the Paints got their game in last night here at the VA. But both games from South Point last night moved here to VA Memorial Stadium. Early morning, we're getting an early kickoff. I wanted to ask, as a coach, what was your opinion on early morning games?
Yeah, you throughout the years, you still play some of them on a Saturday morning, so forth. What's happened is this. For probably the first half of my career, we still had the 27 games allowed, but you had to play them on 23 dates. So the only way you could do that was to play 4 doubleheaders a year. So a lot of people ask me, what's happened to the doubleheaders? Well, they're really not needed anymore because the state changed it to 27 games on 27 dates. You throw in the new pitch count rules, doubleheaders become very difficult to play, or at least a lot of coaches feel that way. So that's why you do not have as many of those. So more and more Saturday games, probably starting at noon, maybe 11, 10 o'clock. I haven't seen a whole lot of. So I'd say the 11 o'clock is something they're very familiar with. Obviously, the bus trip plays a big factor, particularly for Symmes Valley here this morning. But again, you've been ready for this all week. You could have played this thing at 8 o'clock this morning, and these kids were going to be geared up and ready to go.
All righty, national anthem coming up here in Chillicothe. Starting lineups when we return, the number 7 Southeastern Panthers taking on the number 2 seeded Symmes Valley Vikings when we return here in Chillicothe. You're set to be watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here in Chillicothe, obviously, tournament time, Southeastern, the lower seeded team, so they'll be batting in the visiting half of each inning for us here in the early morning hours of this quadruple header Saturday. We'll quickly go through the starting batting lineup for the Southeastern Panthers. It's Lane Williams, Gage Cheadle, Colton Baxter, Braden Burns, Drew Leach, Joey Pfeiffer, Carson McCorder, CJ Huff, and Landon Brown. On the mound this morning for the Symmes Valley Vikings, Tanner Korn. In 11 appearances, 10 starts for the junior Tanner Korn. 54 2/3 inning pitched, a 6-3 record, 2.94 ERA, and 62 strikeouts for the junior. Behind him defensively in the outfield from left to right, Jackson Fields, Grady Holland, and Tanner Thompson. In the infield from third to first, Asher Maynard, Bronx Carpenter. He's just a freshman starting at shortstop. Braden Hankins and Andy Stroud. Behind the plate, Will Jones. Shane, should be an interesting pitching matchup today. Is for the Southeastern Panthers, it'll be Carson McCorder. And talking with head coach Ron Free, said his pitching staff was going to give him a chance to win every game of the season, and that's going to be quite prevalent here today.
No question. He's one of the top pitchers in all the area. Will present quite a challenge for the Symmes Valley offense. Tanner Korn, a second-team All-District selection himself, as you mentioned, pitching in his 12th game, 54-plus innings now, 62 Ks. So he obviously can throw the ball a little bit himself. As you would expect at this level, good pitching, good defense. Got to take advantage of your offensive opportunities. And right off the bat here, someone like Williams in this leadoff spot, he can really change a game if he can get on base with his speed. Going to start about 6 or 7 minutes early again today.
Be a 10:53 start. 7 minutes ahead of time from the windup. Here's Korn with the opening offer. Of course, by now we're no stranger to early starts. We had about a 5-minute head start to kick off the district tournament on Tuesday. As Korn works ahead 0-2 now to Lane Williams.
Right off the bat, you see Korn staying away from Williams a little bit, mixing speeds, way ahead of him now.
0-2 now from Tanner Korn, right back up the middle. 2-strike base knock for Lane Williams. Leadoff man aboard for the Panthers.
Well, just a great piece of hitting. Korn tries to go back outside. Probably, I don't want to speak for him, probably caught just a little bit more of the plate than he wanted to on the 0-2 pitch. Williams does a good job of going with it, and as I said, that changes the entire inning. Lane Williams, one of the elite athletes in our area, can really, really run. Coach Free loves to utilize the bunt. We'll see what he has in mind here in the early going, trying to get McWhorter and company an early lead.
So now the shortstop, Gage Cheadle. The man aboard, he squares around, bunts it to the right side. Tanner Korn moving to his left. Nice glove flip over to first base to retire Cheadle. Williams up to second. One away here in the first.
Yeah, a little bit of an all-or-nothing play. If you look at the way Symmes Valley was breaking there, if that ball beats the pitcher, if they, on this turf, might have rolled all the way into right field, taking Williams the third. So good play. Again, as expected, if you scout Southeastern, going to move the guy over with the bunt and give their top two hitters here in the 3-4 hole a chance to knock in the speedy Williams.
And Shane, offensively for Southeastern, is this consistent with their offensive approach that you've seen this season?
Yeah, it really is. Again, the leadoff guy on, Coach Free will ask pretty much anyone 1 through 9 to bunt, and they're all pretty good at it. But he'll put a lot of pressure on the defense, utilizing some of the small ball. But Cheadle and Burns right here in the heart of the order, they could swing it.
Baxter swinging through the first offer from Tanner Korn. Baxter on the season, 357, 5 doubles, does lead the team with 15 RBI on the season. Early RBI spot for the Panthers. 0-1, a breaking ball finds the zone, 0-2. Shane, something we've seen from Tanner Korn. Hadn't thrown a ball yet. Working ahead in each count so far.
Yeah, and really trying to stay away. You know, like just as I said, you know, you take a hitter like a Cheadle and he asks him to bunt the guy over, and now, you know, trying to knock him in out of the 3-4 hole. Korn doing a good job of getting ahead.
0-2, the first pitch out of the zone for the junior Tanner Korn. It's 1-2 to Colton Baxter. The left fielder Braden Burns on deck for Ron Free and the Southeastern Panthers. 1-2 on the way.
Baxter's been good in these spots for Coach Free, a big RBI guy, and again, it's kind of a complementary type of team ball. You know, when you get the speed of a Williams or sometimes a Cheeto on in front of him, that gives him maximum opportunity to drive in runs.
8 pitches, 7 strikes so far for Tanner Korn, the 1-2. And Shane, for Tanner Korn, from what you've seen from Southeastern this season, is attacking the strike zone early in the count something that would work in Tanner Korn's favor here?
Well, I just think it's always to your advantage to try to get ahead. You know, we've seen what happens when guys fall behind at this level. It really makes it difficult.
1-2 grounded right side. Here's Hankins' diving effort, able to knock it down, but not able to corral it. As Baxter is aboard, runners on the corners, 1 out.
Yeah, big time play there from Hankins. Momentarily saves a run. Now it's going to create a first and third. But again, just a good piece of hitting. We've talked about how much the strikeout has been a factor in the games that you and I have done together here at the VA so far. That just shows you there with 2 strikes. Stay alive, put the ball in play, anything can happen. Now Southeastern with a great opportunity here.
So 2 hits already in the inning for Southeastern, the left fielder Braden Burns.
Symmes Valley's got the shortstop still playing back, third base about even, and Hankins there at second coming way in on the cut. See how Southeastern handles this first and third opportunity.
Burns, a sophomore, 5 extra base hits, 383 on the season. And Shane, it seems like Tanner Korn, no problem locating that breaking ball in the striking strike zone.
Really wearing out the outside corner. So far, Southeastern with 2 strikes has been able to adjust and get the ball in play.
It's 2 balls and 1 strike to the left fielder, Braden Burns.
Burns has had a terrific sophomore season, swinging the bat for the Panthers.
And Shane, it's been a little while for both teams in terms of playing time. It's been 10 days for each squad for Southeastern. It was a 7-2 tournament win over North Adams on the 21st of May. For Symmes Valley, this is their first tournament game, but they took down Gallia on the 21st as well. Something we talked about the last couple of days we've been here is some teams will choose to, whether it's makeup games or you just go find games, fill in that gap between whether it's the first and second round or second and third round of the tournament.
No question. The live looks, you can't represent it in the cage, especially this time of year. The kids kind of batting practice to death.
Baxter takes off from first, 2-2 misses the zone. No throw from Jones. It's second and third with 1 out for Southeastern.
Well, it certainly changes the situation now. Get the first base open against Burns early in the game here. You don't, even early in the game with first base open, you don't have to necessarily give in to the 4-hole hitter.
3-2 misses, low and away. Bases are loaded. 1 out here in the first inning. And the first baseman, Drew Leach.
First baseman, number 18, Drew Leach.
Leach has one of the more interesting hitting lines among any player I've seen this season. The senior just batting 183. He has 13 hits on the season. 6 of them have gone for extra bases. Does lead the team in extra base hits as well.
Looks like Symmes Valley is going to bring the corners in, probably coming 4-1 on the corners or mound. Looks like up the middle they're going to go ahead and try to twist it. If you have confidence in Korn's command, which so far you would because he's been all over the plate, I had no problem with the 3-2 pitch not giving in to Burns there.
1-1 Leach to right center. Thompson giving chase, but he's not going to get there. It's into the power alley. Williams and Baxter will score. Leach sliding into second. Burns to third. It's 2-0 Southeastern. It's that extra base hit power we talked about prior to the at-bat, Shane.
No question about it. Got a ball up, and He lifted the fly ball off the bat. You knew it was going to be at least one run, but then it carries into the gap. Honestly, a pretty good job cutting that ball off. If that ball gets any deeper into the gap there, it's 3 runs, but still now with just 1 out. This is where it's a little bit different with different guys in the order. You got to really be aware. Coach Free will bunt on you at any point, any situation. So that's something you got to really pay attention to here now that they're moving to the bottom half of the order.
It's now the second baseman, Joey Pfeiffer. And Shane Ferlinch now, 7 of his 14 hits on the season have gone for extra bases. 13 RBIs for the senior.
Well, you can see it with a little bit of pop in the bat there. He was able to barrel one up, and in this ballpark, there's plenty of green out there if you put it in play.
As Pfeiffer pops this one up. Shallow right field coming in from right as Thompson makes the grab. Tagging from third is Burns. Throw to the plate in time, diving to the plate, and Burns is out. So a 9-2 double play to end the inning.
Big time throw.
But not before the Panthers strike first. It's 2-0 Southeastern over Symmes Valley, home half of the first. When we return to Chillicothe, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Back here in Chillicothe, it's 2-0. Southeastern leading Symmes Valley after dropping a pair of runs in their half of the first inning. And Shane, now it gets a little bit easier for Southeastern as you have your ace, Carson McQuarter, on the mound.
Well, it's perfect recipe. You give Symmes Valley a lot of credit. Damage control. That was an outstanding throw from that young man in right field. But, you know, you go back, it's just as Coach Free would draw it up. The Speedy Williams gets on, Cheadle bunts him over, and then you have really good at-bats from the middle of your order. And you get the big swing there from the lefty Leach. Certainly could have added more there. 3 or 4 runs was on the table. So the last thing you want to do is fall behind 3 or 4 nothing to Carson McQuarter. So that first inning or not, put a star next to that one because that's a huge, huge play for Symmes Valley to stay in this thing early.
For McQuarter, statistically on the season, this will be his 14th appearance, but through 13, 64 1/3 innings pitched, 7-3 record, 1.63 ERA, 99 strikeouts. He led the South Valley Conference in that category. He has 6 complete games on the season.
Yeah, he's just really good. You know, he's one of those young men that on the mound, he just kind of never changes the emotion. You can't really tell if he's up 2-0, down 2-0. Throws the ball really hard, has good off speed, comes from similar arm spot. Just really, really good command when he's on the mound, and you can sense it from his team, like you can with a lot of different aces. When he's on the mound, Southeastern thinks they're going to win.
So defensively behind McQuarter in the outfield from left to right, it's Braden Burns, Lane Williams, and Gabe Oates. Oates being DH'd for. In the infield from third to first, C.J. Huff, Gage Cheadle, Joey Pfeiffer, and Drew Leach behind the plate, Colton Baxter. It's the shortstop, Brox Carpenter, just a freshman leading things off for the Vikings. As McQuarter works ahead 0-2 to the shortstop, Carpenter. 360 average on the season for Carpenter, averaged 11.9 points per game during the basketball season. Of course, Carpenter, a freshman, as I've mentioned a handful of times. He'll be back for the Vikings next winter as Ethan Smith, who averaged about 24 points per game, will be graduating, so you expect an expanded role for Carpenter. So he laces this one to left field and foul. Rest of the batting lineup for the Vikings: Tanner Thompson, Will Jones, Andy Stroud, Tanner Korn, Braden Hankins, Asher Maynard, Grady Holland, and Jackson Fields. One-two offered at the plate did Carpenter, and there's one away here in the first.
Yeah, went up there the time before. He was able to get a pretty good swing on it and foul it down the left field line. So Southeastern went ahead and went up a little bit more and couldn't lay off there, and they get the strikeout to start the game.
Now the right fielder Tanner Thompson had that 9-2 double play to end the visiting half of the first inning.
Easier said than done, Dewey, but you know, the 99 Ks in 64 innings tells the story. You have to be able to put the ball in play and make Southeastern make some plays against you, but McWhorter makes his defense that much better because he just takes care of so many outs himself.
So McWhorter falls behind 2-0 to Thompson. Thompson, a sophomore, 358 on the season, fouls this one straight back. 2-1. Now 3 balls and 1 strike to Tanner Thompson.
You'll notice, especially from the center field camera there, you'll see him mix speeds even within his pitches. He'll throw the fastball a couple different speeds. He'll throw the off speed a couple different speeds.
3-1, low and away. 1 out walk from McWhorter.
Good at bat there. You grind. It doesn't matter how you do it. You just got to figure out ways to get some base runners here and make him throw some stressful pitches.
Now the senior catcher, Will Jones, leads the Vikings in batting average, extra base hits, and RBI. 5 doubles, 3 triples, 26 RBI, and a .375 average for the senior. As Jones' first pitch swinging this one down the left field line and into the party deck.
Came in on Jones there a little bit off the plate. Had trouble keeping the hands inside. Hit it well, but foul all the way. See if McWhorter's setting him up for something away later in the at-bat.
Oh, want a breaking ball in there for a called strike. 0-2 to Jones.
A little bit of what I'm talking about there. 3-hole hitter. You come hard in on the hands and then soft away. Now you're way ahead at 0-2. If you expect breaking pitch, it's honestly not a bad time to start the runner.
0-2, swing and a miss. Second strike out of the frame from McWhorter. There's 2 down here in the first.
You know, Dewey, that's a great indication right there of how hard it is to hit McWhorter, because the scouting report will tell you he can throw all 3 pitches at any count and command them well. So it's really impossible to be up there guessing. Once you fall behind 0-2, you're really in trouble.
So now the first baseman, Andy Stroud, throw over to first. Thompson back in standing. Stroud Jr. batting .308. 3 doubles, 20 RBI. So he takes a curveball for a called strike, 0-2. McWhorter working ahead once again, actually 0-1. So McWhorter continues to pound the strike zone early in the count. Another pickoff attempt to first base, this time Thompson. Head first slide back in safely.
Good movement from Oates out there in right field in case that ball gets away. Again, way ahead 0-2. Can really get the hitter thinking here. A lot of different ways McWhorter and Baxter can go about it. and attacking this hitter.
No balls and 2 strikes to the first baseman, Andy Stroud, 2 down here in the first inning. McCorder comes home. Swing and a miss. So McCorder fans the side. It's 2-0 after 1. Top of the second. When we come back here in Chillicothe, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. After 1, it's 2-0 Southeastern. 7-8-9 due up for the Panthers with Carson McCorder, C.J. Huff, and Landon Brown. 3-hit, 2-run first inning for the Panthers offensively, Shane. They came out swinging.
Well, perfect formula for the Panthers. Play out in front, give the ball to your talented right-hander, and it kind of has Symmes Valley chasing uphill from the word go. Now, if you're Southeastern, playing with the 2-run lead, look for Coach Free to play add-on 1 run at a time anytime he can.
So here's McCorder, first pitch swinging. This one popped up behind the plate. Jones giving chase. This one is off the netting. Did make the grab, though it will not count.
Great effort from the catcher Jones there. So much foul ground back here in comparison to most high school fields. Did a good job of getting all the way back to the net there. Just caught a little net on the way down.
Oh, 1 popped up. This one out of play. And Shane McCorder obviously known more for what he does on the mound, but still at the plate, a .318 average with 5 doubles.
Yeah, much improved offensive player. He was so talented on the mound from day 1 of his career. Like a lot of young hitters, maybe a little bit overmatched by SVC pitching. Now as he gets older, certainly improved with the bat.
0-2 to right field, right at Thompson. His second put out of the morning. There's 1 away here in the second.
You'll see a willingness from Southeastern hitters to go backside with 2 strikes. That's probably their biggest improvement from a year ago. They've always been able to pitch and defend. Their biggest improvement, in my opinion, from last year to this year is their ability to put the ball in play with 2 strikes and put more pressure on the defense.
So now the third baseman, C.J. Huff, with 1 away in the second inning.
Continue to be impressed by Korn's ability to throw both pitches to that outside corner and work ahead for the most part.
Looks like we got a little premature strike 3 call there. At least it looked like it. It's 2-2.
Yeah.
Corn out of the windup, comes home with the 2-2. There it is, strike 3 on the swing.
Yeah, good sequence of pitching. Really good 2-2 pitch there. Big breaking ball. Starts on the middle of the plate. Looks like a strike all the way to the hitter. Finds its way off the outside corner for the swing and miss. Well done.
Bottom of the order now for the Panthers with the designated hitter Landon Brown. Brown, a junior, has just played 10 games and is 1 for 16 in the opportunities he's received.
Again, Korn way ahead. Going to walk out to the pitcher to deliver the ball. Usually that means he has something to say to him. I'm not sure exactly what that's about. Sometimes, what happens, you get a guy like Korn that likes to work really fast, and the umpire wants you to just kind of wait for the hitter to engage a little bit there and make sure he's ready to go.
0-2 from Korn to the right side, and a jumping effort from Hankins to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Tanner Korn. Home half of the second. When we come back to VA Memorial Stadium, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium, bottom of the second inning. Carson McWhorter back out for the Southeastern Panthers. 3 strikeouts in the last inning for McWhorter. Worked around a 1-out walk to Tanner Thompson. Now it's 5-6-7 for the Vikings. Tanner Korn, Braden Hankins, and Asher Maynard.
Yeah, biggest challenge here will be getting McWhorter in play here at the bottom of the order, trying to put some pressure on the defense. I mean, did walk the one hitter there in the first inning, but the problem there is if you come up and you get too patient, you find yourself living 0-2, 1-2 the whole game against McWhorter, which makes it really difficult to put him in play.
So the opposing pitcher, Tanner Korn, takes the breaking ball down and away, 1-0. Of course, the winner of this one will face off with the winner of our next game, Waterford and Eastern Brown, tomorrow, 5 p.m., right back here in Chillicothe. This game originally scheduled to be played at South Point last night, but about the only game in Southern Ohio played last night on a baseball field was the Chillicothe Paints game.
The arm angle of McWhorter there makes it really difficult on the right-hander. It kind of comes out to the third base side, and it almost slings across the plate on you in a way. Just missed there, but again, 2-2. Symmes Valley just got to compete with 2 strikes. I always call it win 2-strike pitches. There you stretch it to 2-2. Now can you stretch it to 3-2 or put a ball in play?
2-2 to straightaway center. Lane Williams coming in, makes the grab. 1 away.
Good swing there, get a ball in play. Like to hit top half and put it on the ground and make the Southeastern infield have to work there, but nonetheless, that's a good at bat. You get the 2-2, you put a ball in play. You just got to continue to put good at bats together against the right-hander.
Now the left-hitting second baseman, Braden Hankins, had the leaping grab to put a cap on the last half inning. .380 average, a lot of success as a hitter, 5 doubles. So McWhorter once again working ahead in the count early on in the at-bat, 0-2.
Southeastern pretty athletic up the middle defensively with Cheatham and Piper there in the middle, and then obviously Williams in center can really go get it.
McWhorter misses on back-to-back pitches, even 2-2 now to Hankins. So you can see Hankins choked up on the bat. Just going to try to put something in play here against McWhorter. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fourth strikeout for Carson McWhorter. There's 2 down in the bottom of the second.
Third baseman, number 14, Asher Maynard.
Again, just a subtle change of speeds. You have the ability to throw the off-speed stuff and throw one a little bit harder, one a little bit softer, and just has the hitter slightly off balance. And another strikeout. What is 4th out of 5 hitters so far? Or well, 6. He had to walk, I guess.
Now the third baseman, Asher Maynard. Maynard also listed as the designated hitter, so you figure when Tanner Korn comes out of the game, he'll move to third. And to keep Maynard in the lineup, he'll move to the DH. Here somebody will come off the bench to pitch. So McWhorter ahead in the count once again, 0-2.
Yeah, got him to chase the ball up and away first, then comes back off speed. Now totally in control of the at-bat is McWhorter on the 0-2 pitch here.
One, two, swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks, 3 up, 3 down inning for Carson McWhorter. The Vikings are scoreless through 2. It's 2-0. Southeastern leading Symmes Valley, top of the third when we come back to Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Leading off for Southeastern, center fielder number 1, Lane Williams.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. It's top of the third inning. Southeastern leading Symmes Valley 2-0. 1, 2, 3, Lane Williams, Gage Cheadle, and Colton Baxter, the do-up for the Panthers. And Shane, it's something we've talked about throughout the district tournament so far here at the VA, just how important it is to not have the top of the order broken up between innings.
Well, it's a really big inning for Korn and Symmes Valley here because you were ahead of Williams earlier to start the game, and he had a nice 2-strike approach and single back up the middle to start the whole 2-run first inning. This becomes a huge inning here with the way McWhorter's settling in. You just can't afford another run to go up. So the ability to retire Williams goes a long way in that. And falling behind 3-0, I believe he'll be taking here all the way. Now even in a senior leadoff spot here, 3-1, he'll have good knowledge of the strike zone.
3-1 grounded left side. Here's the freshman Carpenter on to first. Nice 6-3 put out, 1 away.
Great job by Korn. You fall behind 3-0. You're staring the possibility of putting Williams on base again to start the third inning, just the way you did the first inning. You come back, you get the called strike, then you throw the ground ball. Just a great job of composing there by the junior Tanner Korn.
Now the shortstop, Gage Cheadle. Laid down a sac bunt on the first pitch he saw in the first inning.
Cheadle's another one that's played a lot of varsity baseball. Now the older he gets, the more athletic he gets. So now what's happening is the skill set and the athleticism are starting to combine. Remember, you asked me about McWhorter earlier. You'll see that a lot with these juniors in the Southeastern lineup, and that's where offensively they've improved quite a bit over the last year.
Cheadle chases. Throw on to first from Jones. 3-pitch strikeout for Tanner Korn. There's 2 down in the 3rd inning.
Again, Korn settling in nice, off speed away. Give Jones a lot of credit on the drop and block. Keep that ball in front. It gives your pitcher a lot of credit when they can bury that down low and away, knowing that the catcher is going to work real hard for you. And that time Jones did a good job of squaring the shoulders and then converting the strikeout with the throw to first.
Second strikeout for Tanner Korn. He's retired 6 consecutive Panthers since that 2-run first inning for Southeastern. As Baxter takes, it's 1-1.
Baxter listed here just as a junior, so there's the battery with McWhorter returning next year, which I'm sure makes SVC coaches happy.
Ground ball to the right side. Hankins plays it straight on. Wild throw, but a nice athletic play by Stroud to
sure was.
Make the catch and stay on the bag for the 3-up, 3-down inning. Second consecutive for Tanner Korn. Home half of the 3rd when we return. 8-9-1 due up for the Vikings. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. Grady Holland, Jackson Fields, and Bronx Carpenter, the 3 due up for the Symmes Valley Vikings. Shane, the Vikings still hitless nearly the first time through the order against Carson McWhorter. Offensively, what do you just have to do to get on base against the junior?
Well, you just got to stay with it, and you got to continue to grind. You got to go up there looking for a pitch you can handle early in the count. If you're lucky enough to get ahead in the count, then maybe you get a little bit more patient. We did see the 1 walk in the first inning, but again, it's tough. If you can get a guy on early in the inning, you can maybe utilize a little small ball against them, maybe bunt some guys over, maybe put some pressure. We have not seen a defensive opportunity for a Southeastern infielder yet, correct, in terms of a ball on the ground or anything like that. So that's the trick here. Can you get the ball in play, preferably top half, put a little pressure on the Southeastern infield, see if you can get some base runners and see if you can create something in that way. But sitting back and just waiting to get 3-4 hits in an inning going to be very difficult against this right-hander.
Only put out so far defensively for Southeastern was a fly out to center field from Tanner Korn.
Coaching against McWhorter multiple times already in his pretty young career when you consider he's got a whole year left. He's a workhorse. We got locked up in a game that went about 12 innings last year where he threw about the first 9 or 10 of them, and then this year we got to him 1 inning on a pretty good swing, and that was it. The other 6 innings pretty much shut us down, so he can really get in a groove and he can get locked in.
0-2 misses upstairs. It's 2-2. Correction, 1-2.
One of the few times he didn't quite get on top. I know he will sometimes throw that off speed to the top of the zone, but that time it just didn't seem like it. He finished the pitch as well as he has throughout the outing to this point.
2-2 to Holland, swing and a miss. 6th strikeout for Carson McWhorter.
Left fielder number 23, Jackson Fields.
All 6 on the swing.
You know, I'm not sure either, because I'm not up there hitting against them. It just seems like the mechanics are so repeatable, and it's a pretty good rhythm. The ball just seems to jump out of the hand and get on the hitter a little quicker. I've always been in the school that the hitter will tell you how good the pitcher is, and you can tell by the hitter's reaction sometimes that the ball's hard to pick up.
So now the bottom of the lineup for the Vikings, the left fielder, Jackson Fields. .258 average for the freshman, 1 extra base hit in his first season as a varsity baseball player.
Thought that almost got the hitter there. Just missed him. Yeah, this Symmes Valley team, well over 500. It competed for a league title toward the top of the SOC2, and obviously has had a great year, so they're going to continue to compete here, and as they seed in the quarter the second time through, adjust a little bit, I'm sure.
And Shane, correct me if I'm wrong, but through the 4 games we've seen so far, I don't believe we've had a lead change.
I think you're right. Well, it goes back to the importance of scoring first. I think it's underrated in baseball. I really do. I think the ability to play out in front. This is some of the best 2-strike hitting we've seen throughout the game to this point. Battling here a little bit. Yeah, but I think what you're talking about in high school dugouts, a little bit of the morale, the ability to play out in front, have something good happen before something bad happens. Yeah, that goes a long way in momentum.
Pitch number 41 for McCorder. It's fouled off by Fields. It's still 2-2.
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about, winning 2-strike pitches. You know, just continuing to throw the bat out there, put the ball in play a little bit. Just these foul balls, it gets the pitch count going up a little bit, makes him work a little bit.
2-2 to left field line. Drive down for a base hit. First of the morning for Symmes Valley. 1 man aboard with 1 gone here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, outstanding at bat coming out of the 9-hole there, and just fouls off some pitches there, and then gets a pitch he can handle a little bit and serve it in the left field for their first hit. Now as you come back to the top of the order, Symmes Valley with a legitimate opportunity to make something go here. Decent speed there at first, and obviously someone at the plate that handles the bat, so a couple options here for Coach Holland.
So Carpenter down on strikes to begin the game offensively for Symmes Valley in the 1st inning.
Dewey, here's where the adjustments start. You come through the second time in the order. Now you've seen McWhorter, and see if you can get a little bit more comfortable against him.
Huff playing well in at 3rd. Ground ball right to him. To second now, Pfeiffer on to first, not in time. So the Panthers get the lead runner. Carpenter safe at first. 2 down with a runner on first for Tanner Thompson, who walked in the 1st inning.
Yeah, you called it perfectly right before the pitch. Because he was in, he gets the perfect garden hop right off the turf. Little pitch and catch, you get the lead runner. Now with 2 outs, gives McWhorter a chance to pitch out of the situation.
So Thompson, the only other player besides Jackson Fields to reach base safely the first time through the order against McWhorter. As Baxter fakes the throw, first pitch out of the zone, it's 1-0 to Thompson.
We talked about you're not always going to get a ton of opportunities against the right-hander like McWhorter. What you'd love if you're Symmes Valley here is to extend this inning 1 more, get a second base runner on, and give your senior Will Jones a swing at it.
Hitters count now for Thompson, 2 balls and no strikes. And this is where McWhorter's dangerous, Shane, as he's shown the ability to throw that breaking ball for a strike.
You also notice in the run game, There's times McWhorter will use a little bit more of a slide step. When he does that, he's in the low ones. He's almost impossible to run against. But when he lifts the knee all the way up, if you pick that and the breaking ball, it is a battery you can run against a little bit. But, man, if you guess wrong, it can really go the other way on you.
Back-to-back pitches on the outside corner as McWhorter fights back to even it up at 2-2.
This is the pitch you want if you're McWhorter here, because you go to 3-2, you're going to start the runner. And in this big ballpark, it allows more things to happen. So if you're McWhorter here, you want to come right at him on this 2-2 pitch.
2-2 from McWhorter. Swing and a miss. Second of the inning and 7th on the morning for the junior Carson McWhorter, as he's scoreless through 3 against Symmes Valley. Top of the 4th when we return to VA Memorial Stadium. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Wealth.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Parmar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Parmar has it. Download the Parmar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Parmar Rewards Card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium here in Chillicothe. Top of the 4th, it's 4-5-6 for the Southeastern Panthers. Braden Burns, Drew Leach, and Joey Pfeiffer. The due-up was 2 for 3 in terms of just getting on base safely. Drew Leach had that big 2 RBI double that opened things up offensively for the Panthers. Umpiring crew this morning, we didn't get to it in the first inning. Behind the plate, it's David Karshner. Up the first baseline, Pat Tabler, and down the third baseline, Joe Cott. First offering's popped up. Left side, Carpenter makes the play, 1 out.
1 pitch, 1 out. Never hate that for efficiency, especially when it's a really good hitter in the heart of the Southeastern order like Burns.
So now the left-hitting first baseman, Drew Leach. Is Leach first pitch swinging. Ground ball to the right side. Hankins to first, 2 away.
Pretty predictable there after the elevated fastball. He hit as well as he did back in the first inning. Slow things down a little bit, got him out on the front foot a little bit, rolls over 1, and now you're in a position where it really help a pitch count here.
2 pitches, 2 outs for Tanner Korn. As Joey Pfeiffer takes a breaking ball, 0-1. You think for Pfeiffer there was almost a motive, no matter what, not to swing?
Well, you a lot of times as a coach, you'll go ahead and give him that. But, man, that ball smoked, and that could be 3.
Pfeiffer to right center, Holland to the wall. Pfeiffer around second, he'll look to make it 3. Relay in from right, Hankins into the infield with Carpenter, and a 2-out triple for Joey Pfeiffer. First triple of the season for the senior, his 3rd extra base hit.
Well, that's the type of thing you get in this ballpark when you hit the gap, and 2 pitches, 2 outs, and then all of a sudden you think you're going to roll. Now the triple puts Southeastern in position to maybe still a 3rd run, and again, the way McWhorter's thrown, you just can't afford to go down anymore.
4th hit of the day for Southeastern, but their first since the opening inning. Tanner Korn has been very productive since that 2-run opening inning for Southeastern. McWhorter fouls it off. It's 0-2.
Been really impressed with Korn's command of his off-speed pitch. I think he's been hurt more by the fastball up, but overall the off-speed, when he's been able to locate, it's been a pretty good pitch for him. Still way ahead. Remember, McWhorter, if I remember correctly, late in the count kind of served one up backside. Ball ended up hanging up to the right fielder, but again, the willingness to go backside with 2 strikes.
It's back-to-back pitches out of the zone and even 2-2 to McWhorter.
Yeah, you battle back into the count. We'll see if Korn will give in and go to the fastball, or if he'll stay stubborn with the off-speed.
2-2 to left field, over the third baseman Maynard and into left. 2-out RBI single for McWhorter. It's 3-0 Southeastern.
That's just a huge run in this game, and he did stay off speed, but he left it in on the inner half. McWhorter was able to get the bat head to it, and I guess that's what they mean in baseball by help yourself. And boy, did he ever. Now up 3-0. It'll be tough for Symmes Valley to come back out of the hole.
Now the third baseman, C.J. Huff, 0 for 1, struck out in the second inning. Korn over to first, McWhorter back in safely. McWhorter up from first, breaking ball to the plate, a called ball. McWhorter in standing up.
Picked a good pitch to run on again. Korn's been utilizing the off-speed quite a bit, so when you pick curveball, especially the slower curveball, it's a good pitch to run on.
Huff shows bunt, pulls it back.
Just taking all the way there. Maybe a different part of the order, maybe Coach Free green light in the RBI spot, but down here toward the bottom of the order, want to continue to work the pitch count. Now you've worked your way to the 9 hole.
The 4-pitch walk for C.J. Huff, second of the morning. Keep wanting to say afternoon. We're still prior to noon. It's 11:44 a.m. It's the first walk for Korn since that first inning. He walked Braden Burns. So mound visit now for the Vikings. It's bottom of the order, Landon Brown.
You a morning person? You okay with the early start here?
I don't think as a player I would love it, but showing up to call a game, I don't have a problem with it. I would say, for me as a player, I don't think I would appreciate making it to the district level. I know obviously it had a lot to do with the rain you got yesterday, but I wouldn't appreciate making it to the district round and having to play a game at 11 in the morning. It wouldn't be my cup of tea, but again, there's not much you can do when the district final was scheduled for today and your district semi yesterday gets rained out, but that's just what happens in the spring.
And you make a great point. Hats off to the Southeast District board, because, man, they got a lot of moving parts this first year with the 7 divisions and all the facilities as Korn misses away there, and now they got the runner stuck.
McWhorter caught between second and third. Hankins to third, bounces down into the turf. Maynard can't hang on as Huff moves up to second. Goes from a disaster for the Panthers to both runners in scoring position.
Yeah, I don't know if that's how they draw it up, but nonetheless, you got a guy over at third now. You never know when a ball will get away here.
I think that's why coaches stress getting the ball to the bag that the player is trying to advance to as quickly as possible. So Brown lined out to the second baseman, and his lone plate appearance in the second inning. He's now 1 for 17 on the season. 1-1 misses low and away.
Big opportunity for Southeastern here to play a little add-on. Remember, this inning started 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Ground ball to the left side. Maynard moving to his left, but he can't hang on. Gets past the shortstop Carpenter as well. McWhorter in from third, and it's 4-0 Southeastern.
Broken record, but put the ball in play. Can't tell you enough how much it can impact at the high school level. You know, all you do, avoid the strikeout, get the ball in play, hit it top half. You know, that time you force the infield to have to range just a little bit on the tough hop there on the turf, and results in a run.
So now back to the top of the order with Lane Williams. Williams' first pitch swinging this one, foul up the third baseline. Shane, I tell you, the betting odds on a multi-run inning after the first two pitches resulted in outs would have been quite favorable for the better.
Well, it's just backbreaking too. I mean, look, in a game like this, 2 runs were going to be backbreaking regardless. But yeah, you had to be feeling really, really good, and then all of a sudden Pfeiffer unloads one, you know, deep right center there for a 3-bagger, and the inning kind of gets away from you.
After the first 2 pitches resulted in outs, a triple, a single, a walk, and an E5.
First and third, but he might just let the leadoff hitter swing away.
Korn misses low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Williams. So far this morning, Williams 1 for 2. He singled in the first.
Even with 2 outs, Hankins awfully shallow there at second. I assume it's for the first third defense. But
as Williams bangs it off the catering house.
It's interesting there. I think now they're going to back him up. I was going to say you're really opening up a bigger hole backside where Williams has already went once today for a hit.
Three balls and 2 strikes now to Lane Williams. You expect Landon Brown to take off the first move from Korn.
Yeah, defense going to hold the position unless you do want to fake third here one time.
As Williams fouls it away, we'll try it again. Middle of the order due up for the Vikings the next half inning. 3-4-5, Will Jones, Andy Strow, and Tanner Korn. Three-two on the way. So the walk will load the bases for the shortstop, Gage Cheadle.
Yeah, just missed with the breaking pitch on the 2-2. A little harder stuff there, just away on the 3-2. Now, bases loaded, still in the 2-out spot, but you have the very talented Gage Cheadle on the plate with a chance to break this thing completely open.
Third walk of the day for Tanner Korn. The shortstop, Gage Cheadle, he's 0 for 1. Struck out in the third, laid down a sac bunt in the first inning. Of course, that sac bunt played a big role in that 2-run first inning. Now Cheadle goes backside. It's down for a base hit, and it'll go all the way to the wall. Huff and Brown score. Williams around third. He will score as well. Here's Cheadle around second. And a stand-up 3 RBI triple with 2 down in the 4th inning.
Yeah, just go backside, go with it, and paint it just inside the line. Gets all the way down into the corner there. The way Cheadle runs, that's 3 for sure, especially with the speedy Williams in front of him. Going to score easily on the 2-out triple. And now Southeastern able to break things open, 7-0. Going back to the point I was making earlier, Dewey, where we have a second here. Southeast District going through some things for the first time this year with the 7 divisions. And what happened was the high school baseball season pushed back on the calendar about a week later. So a lot of these things are coming. So what's happening is you're running into the paints season a little earlier too, if I'm not mistaken, right? In the past, it's always been more regional level when the paints start playing. So you're looking for other facilities. It seems they found South Point, they found Logan.
Rock Hill, I believe, has gotten some work as well.
So I think like anything, give it 2 or 3 years and you're going to see a lot different type of scheduling, a lot different things here that will be much smoother. But overall, first year, pretty good job, especially with all the rain that we've had. Other thing that's interesting, this is where high school baseball's changed so much with the pitch count. Now McWhorter is already far enough in, you might as well let him roll with it and go ahead and throw his complete game, whatever, because regardless of what he does now, he can't throw tomorrow. Where in the past, you'd have guys coming out of the game all of a sudden now because you'd be saving those innings because it would be a 10 innings in 3 days. Now, obviously, with the pitch count, that no longer exists. And I'm telling you, that's a huge factor. It really is. I think back to the 3 district championships we won at Payne Valley there, they were all under the 10 inning, and it just changed the entire way you strategically went about things.
So a lot of moving parts here for the Vikings. Jackson Field in from left, Grady Holland in from center. He will pinch. Tanner Korn off the mound moves to third. Asher Maynard moves from third to left. And Jackson Field moves from left to center. So this will be the 11th appearance of the season for Grady Holland. His 4th in relief. Sophomore, 47 innings pitched, a 4.02 ERA with 38 strikeouts. The runner on third, 2 down. This one behind the batter, Baxter. The first 2 pitches out of the zone, it's 2-0.
Tough spot to come in, and this first out's always the hardest one to get.
Took 2 pitches to get the first 2 outs of the inning. Since then, 3 hits, 2 walks, and an error, along with 4 runs for the Panthers. 4-pitch walk for Holland. As Braden Burns now to the plate, he led off the inning.
Left fielder number 7, Braden Burns.
You expect Baxter to be on the move here?
I would say at some point in the count, yes.
Burns' first pitch swinging to right center. Fields and Thompson coming together, neither can get there. Cheadle scores easily from third. Baxter all the way around to first will make it a 9-0 ball game. 3rd triple of the inning for Southeastern. They've just continued, Shane, as you mentioned, just beat it backside.
Well, they really have, and really what they're showing off today, in my opinion, is what I highlighted earlier about their offensive improvement as they get older. It comes more in their athleticism. It's a little bit more pop in the bat, a little bit more athleticism on the bases, and you've seen that now with Piper and Burns and Cheadle. Even earlier in the game here with Leach on the big swing that kind of got the scoring started. Just a really, really good offensive effort here from Southeastern today.
So Leach pops the 1-0 up to the right side of the infield. Here's Hankins into shallow right to make the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. Nine to nothing. Bottom of the 4th when we come back here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Wealth.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Back here in Chillicothe, a 7-run fourth inning has the Panthers out to a 9-0 lead. 3-4-5 due up for the Vikings.
Yeah, going back to the point I was making earlier, for those that are not familiar, you used to have the 10 innings in 3 days. So what that would show is when a team would break it open like this, and you're only 3 innings into the game in terms of how many innings McWhorter has thrown, he would come out and he would technically have 7 innings tomorrow. Well, now, obviously, over the last several years now, we've used the pitch count. So once he went over 30 today, it doesn't do you any good to save anything for tomorrow. So you're going to go ahead and ride with him the rest of the way, and then you'll move into your 2 and 3 spots of your pitching staff tomorrow if you're Southeastern.
So Will Jones will lead things off for the Vikings. A 9-run hole in here in the home half of the fourth inning.
Your Symmes Valley, obviously an uphill battle, but at this point, you're just going to compete and grind really hard. A lot of baseball to play. You're just going to try to get something started here.
I believe I'm caught up on my book now. I was trying to make sure I had it and everything. It's
hard
to keep up when there's a 7-run inning.
Sure. Yeah.
That one actually caught a piece of Will Jones, so the leadoff man aboard for the Vikings for the first time this morning. Got about 2 minutes left of it being this morning.
Symmes Valley certainly take that. Base runner's been hard to come by, so they'll take the base runner.
Second walk for McWhorter. His first since the first inning. Throw over to first. Jones back in safely.
This will test the focus of Southeastern here a little bit as well. You have the 7-run inning. You got McWhorter on the mound. It's human nature to feel like you've got control of this one, but you obviously have got to finish the job. Still a lot of baseball left here in front of you.
It was a 4-hit inning for the Panthers, 3 of them triples. I believe the only hit that wasn't backside was the RBI single of McWhorter. Now Strauss squares around a bunt up the first base line off the mound. It's McCorner looking to go first to third is Jones, and he is out at third base. Leadoff walk wiped off the board, 2 down with nobody on for the Vikings.
Well, trying to bunt a little first to third, just trying to make anything happen you can. McWhorter comes off, gets the easy out, and then what happens there is you got to have your third baseman. As soon as he doesn't field it, he's got to get back. So when Jones turned around second, sees an empty third, and then gives Southeastern credit to get back in there and throw it, 3 to 5 across the infield for the putout.
So McWhorter now looking for his second 3-up, 3-down inning. So the Vikings went down in order in the second. Walk in the first, single in the third. Dropper up the middle over the leaping effort of McWhorter. On the run, Cheadle to first, and it's another 3-up, 3-down inning. So McWhorter works around a leadoff walk. Still scoreless through 4. Top of the 5th. When we come back to VA Memorial Stadium, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
So what do you have Corn on the hook for? Well, he gave up 8. And then the one for Holland wasn't earned, or it was? I mean, it was a walk, then a triple. Back here in Chillicothe, it's 9-0. Southeastern leading Symmes Valley. Top of the 5th inning, 6, 7, 8. Joey Pfeiffer, Carson McWhorter, and C.J. Huff. It's really, Shane, this part of the order that got the rally going. As it was Pfeiffer with a triple, McWhorter with a single, Huff walked. So the next 3 guys really sparked the offense an inning ago for the Panthers.
Yeah, Pfeiffer's had a really good career for Southeastern. I know statistically maybe at the plate not the year he's wanted, but it shows you there with that swing earlier in the game, so capable still.
So Holland with the final out of the last inning did surrender 1 run. He walked to Baxter, then gave up the triple to Burns, got Leach to fly out. Ground ball to the left side. Here's Tanner Korn up the line on the move to first base for the first out of the inning. Athletic play by Tanner Korn to retire the leadoff man.
Yeah, nice job by Korn to come and get that one.
The pitcher, number 8, Carson McWhorter.
Now the Panthers pitcher, Carson McWhorter.
Yeah, the McWhorter at bat in that 7-run inning was really important because even after the 2-out triple, they still had a chance to get out of it and stayed stubborn with the off speed and just got one on the inner half that he was able to knock into left field for an RBI hit. There's another one that catches way too much of the inner half. I think if you're going to throw McWhorter the off speed, you got to get it away from him.
The 1-1 to straightaway center. Fields, who started in left, comes in to make the grab, 2 away.
Better pitch there. Still caught a little bit of the plate, but because he went away from him, not able to quite get the barrel to it and hit it with the same pop that he is when he's able to knock it down the pull side here on the third base line.
Now the third baseman, C.J. Huff. Shane, the game of baseball, I think we all know fairly interesting, is I think it may have been the Wheelersburg-Wellston game where all 6 of Wheelersburg's runs, none of them RBIs, but then today you have 9 on the board for Southeastern, and 8 of them have been driven in.
Well, it shows you how throughout the course of the 7 innings, how 3 or 4 at-bats become really important. And if you win some of those spots, it equals being up 9-0 instead of about 3-0.
3 up, 3 down inning for Grady Holland and the Symmes Valley Vikings. 9-1-2 due up in their home half of the 5th when we return to Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. Southeastern leading Symmes Valley 9-0. Hankins, Maynard, and Hollins to do up for the Vikings.
Leading off, second baseman number 10, Braden Hankins.
Hankins' first pitch swinging right at the third baseman, C.J. Huff. Easy 5-3 put out for the Panthers to begin the inning.
Huff's been solid defensively today. Playing in front of the bag has allowed him to get the big hop on his 2 ground ball chances, and then he was involved in the double play last inning where he was charging the bunt and then getting back to third for the throw across to finish the double play.
Now the left fielder, Asher Maynard.
Again, a young Symmes Valley team that you're going to see them back on this stage, I got a feeling. They do graduate a little bit, but several young pieces that are part of a 16-win team this year. Going to continue to go well. Symmes Valley's always had solid baseball program. Remember having a lot of district battles with them back in the 14-15 time period.
Two-one backside, that'll drop in for a 1-out base hit. Just the second surrendered from Carson McCorder.
Good hustle there from Maynard. What happens again on this turf, the right fielder playing that shallow comes up throwing the first. You see way too many guys kind of go into their little, I got a hit trot, and before you know it, the right fielder comes up throwing. Good job of Maynard playing hard and sprinting that out.
Hollins squares around the bunt, pulled back in time. Huff remains playing up the line at third.
I think the idea there, obviously here he's thinking maybe bunt, but forcing people to pull the ball and rip it by him against McWhorter makes a lot of sense because it allows him to take away the cheap hit in terms of the dribbler up the line or go ahead and make a right-hander against McWhorter have to turn and rip the ball down the line against him.
2-0, this bunt laid down. Huff charging in from third, goes to second on the hop. And Pfeiffer can't hang on. So both men on base safely. 2 aboard with 1 out for Jackson Fields, who singled in the second.
Hard to hear the communication from up here. I'm guessing what happened there, he's going to come in and take the easy out. And then it looked to me, just based off of where his feet and shoulders were squared, that someone might have yelled 2 at the last minute. And he tried to make the throw. Obviously, you just need the out up 9-0. But again, that's why against the talented pitcher, you go ahead and still try the small ball game because, you just put pressure on the defense.
Fields squares to bunt this one right down the third base line. And it looked like it was originally called foul, but a late switch from David Karshner behind the plate called a fair ball, and that's a bunt single for Jackson Fields. The bases are loaded.
Well, McWhorter's reaction, I think he felt like he let it go foul and killed it, but evidently still catching just enough of the white. And give Symmes Valley credit, down 9-0, you continue to utilize the bunt because you're having trouble getting the talented McWhorter in play, and all of a sudden now you have bases loaded with a chance to get on the scoreboard here.
So the bases are loaded for Symmes Valley as the Vikings order turns over. This is Drew Leach playing up the line at first. Middle infielders pinched, corners in for Southeastern. Carpenter 0 for 2.
Good job by Baxter to get out there and keep that ball in front.
We'll have a mound visit now for Southeastern.
Good visit from Coach Free here. Again, the whole thing starts because you don't take the out on the bunt. You try to do too much with it, and just going to remind them that, 9-0 game, we need outs. Don't get so wrapped up with all the base runners as much as just record outs.
So the Panthers will remain the same after the mound visit. McCorder fights back, evens it up at 1-1. .67 pitches now for McCorder. One, a breaking ball. Catches Carpenter off balance. It's 1-2.
Obviously, the competitor in the quarter still wants to keep that 0 up on the board, but at the same time, if you're Southeastern, you need make sure you get the second out here.
1-2 the opposite way. Carpenter can't keep it between the lines. So we'll try the 1-2 again. McCorder, I have him for 7 strikeouts now in the afternoon. Hasn't had one for a couple of innings. Last one was the third out of the third inning.
Well, you had that double play last inning, and this is one where you need the strikeout, and if you're Carpenter, you're trying to get a ball in play.
1-2, Carpenter fights off the breaking ball.
Yeah, Carpenter, another freshman, and just these last 2 swings tell me something about him and his willingness just to compete. Fight the ball off the other way and live to see another pitch.
And Shane, it's something we've seen from a handful of Vikings batters, just the ability to fight off pitches until they get what they're looking for. McCorder comes home with the 1-2. Left side, that gets through for a base hit. Maynard in from third, everybody up 90 feet. It's 9-1, a 1-out RBI single for the freshman Bronx Carpenter.
Yeah, big time at bat from the freshman there. He fights off some tough pitches the other way. McWhorter gives in and comes back inside. Looked like a fastball from our viewpoint here, and he just turned on it and hits it to left field. But good at bat as they continue to just compete hard.
Now their right fielder, Tanner Thompson. Same situation for Thompson. Ducks on the pot, 1 out here in the 5th. 4 hits now on the day for Symmes Valley against Carson McCorder. Their first multi-hit inning comes here in the 5th inning. McCorder falls behind, 2 balls and no strikes to Thompson.
Yeah, Symmes Valley in the right part of the order here. McWhorter falls behind. If you're Symmes Valley, this is your opportunity here to try to maybe throw a couple hits together and see if you can't cut into this thing a little bit.
As McCorder goes to second, Fields back in standing. Thompson batting .358 on the season, hitless today, walked in the first, struck out in the third. His third plate appearance comes in the 5th. Now ahead 3-0. And Shane, it's something we talked about the other day, whether your approach 3-0 changes. What is your approach here?
Well, this is one of your best hitters, so again, you got to know your hitter. I feel like you got to make him throw a pitch here.
As Thompson squares to bunt, pulls it back in time, a called strike.
Now 3-1, you feel like you're going to get the same type of pitch, and what it does, it just takes the pressure off the hitter when you give the take sign. Now you're looking to still sit on your favorite. Put a good swing on it.
McCorder fights back from down 3-0.
That just shows you the confidence this young man has in all of his pitches. In a 9-1 game on a 3-1 pitch, he drops that off speed on you, and you almost can't believe that he had the confidence to throw it. Now you don't know what he's going to throw you 3-2.
Payoff from McCorder, misses outside. That'll bring home another run. Now the bases are loaded with one out for the most dangerous Viking batter.
Good at bat there. And again, that's a little bit of why you take the 3-0 pitch, is because it's not just that one pitch. It forces the pitcher to have to throw multiple strikes to come back in the at bat. Now you're right in the heart of the order, and we've talked about it before. You know, I mean, baseball's not a time sport. You get your outs. That's why you never quit on it and continue to play hard. Now all of a sudden we've watched Southeastern do it, Dewey. Now you're one good swing into the gap away from really getting back in this thing.
For Thompson, that was his second walk of the day. This time he gets an RBI. Also just the second walk from McCorder. He's walked Thompson twice. It's the first walk from McCorder since the first inning. Did have the hit batter last inning. And it was to this man, Will Jones. Jones' first pitch swinging, pops it up to the right side. Gabe Owens moving towards the bullpen and just nearly got there, but ran out of time.
Outstanding effort down there.
Diving effort into the Paints bullpen. Today, the Southeastern Panthers bullpen. More baseball coming your way here at the VA this afternoon. Game 2 coming up, scheduled for 1:30. The Waterford and Eastern Brown, that'll decide the Division VI District Final for tomorrow to be the winner of this one and the winner of that one. Jones sawed off. It's 0-2.
Now the difference here in the Jones at bat in comparison to the Thompson at bat, he's way ahead of him. Again, this is where he was with Carpenter, and Carpenter was able to fight off some pitches and finally get the one he wanted for the single to left. Let's see what Baxter and McWhorter have in mind here on this 0-2 pitch.
0-2 up the middle. And it catches the umpire. That's Joe Caught. Much to the benefit of the Vikings, as that'll bring another run in.
Yeah, that's...
You're thinking double play, but instead it's both runners up 90 feet once again.
Yeah, that's a tough break. That ball was right at the shortstop. Certainly would have probably got the one out. I don't know that you'll turn the double play with Jones running hard down the line, but
First baseman, number 34.
Again, Symmes Valley, one run at a time. Still just one out.
3 straight Vikings now have recorded an RBI. It's 9-3. So McCorder works ahead to Stroud.
I believe on that, you get the dead ball. When it hits the umpire there, it's the base hit, and then the runners that have to advance can, and that's why the run's able to score there, and everybody moves up one in the bases loaded spot.
McCorder now up to 82 pitches. Stroud, the 8th batter he's faced this inning. Pickoff attempt to first. Jones head first slide back in safely. One to the right side. Pfeiffer moving to his left, goes to second. Cheeto has trouble with it and can't bring it in. Throw to third. Thompson is back in safely. Carpenter came home to score. It's 9-4.
Well, the theme of the inning for Southeastern is they've had 2 or 3 opportunities just to take outs, and they've probably tried to do a little too much with it. Remember the bunt back over early in the inning, coming in from the third base side, tried to go to second, had to easy out at 1. That time, great range from Pfeiffer to get glove side, has the out at first, tried to come back to the middle. Cheadle coming across the bag, unable to handle it. So, again, now all of a sudden 9-4, still batting 1 out. And Southeastern turning this into a 5 or 6 out inning, which usually is going to lead to a crooked number.
9th batter of the inning for McCorder. 0-1 to the left side, a diving effort from Cheadle. Throw to third is not in time, and it gets away from Huff. Jones streaking from third, he will score. Stroud moves to third. It's 1st and 3rd with 1 out. 9-6. Southeastern's lead continues to dwindle here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, and you can see it batter by batter. You can kind of start to see the body language in the Symmes Valley dugout, believing a little bit more that it can happen. Now all of a sudden 9-6. We're just in the 5th inning with 1 out. You're still 1st and 3rd. Every reason to believe that you have every opportunity to come back in this thing.
Shane, how are you scoring that? You giving a base hit for that one? Was that a fielder's choice?
Fielder's choice, yeah, maybe the third. Good throw to third. Does he have him?
You think a pop-up throw to first he has?
Well, you have to give an error, something for the runner after the play. So maybe a fielder's choice, and then the runner advances home on the error. Is that fair?
So now Braden Hankins, he led off the inning. Some bump falls foul. It's 0-2.
Give Coach Holland a lot of credit too, because down 9-0, he just stayed with some of the things they do. You know, remember they going back earlier in this inning, they just started bunting the baseball onto the ground and just trying to put some pressure on Southeastern, and it's really worked. Like I said, Southeastern, I know 2 times for sure has tried to do way too much with a ball on the ground instead of just taking it out.
0-2 from McCorder, swing and a miss. Drop third strike, first base is occupied. Shane, actually looks like they're going to say Hankins caught a piece of it.
Yeah, that's a big call because obviously that'd be the 2nd out of the inning. Now Hankins has a chance maybe to still put a ball in play and try to get this 7th run in.
Senior staying alive. Here's the 0-2 offering from McCorder. Swing and a miss. 8th strikeout for Carson McCorder, his 1st in 3 innings. Rather, 1st in 2 innings. Nonetheless, there's 2 away here in the 5th.
Left fielder, number 14, Asher Maynard.
Now Asher Maynard.
Again, the pitch count starts to really add up in this inning and in the overall game.
Maynard singled after Hankins was retired to begin the inning. Really kicked off the offensive explosion for the Vikings. Four hit, 6-run inning so far for Symmes Valley.
Way ahead of him, but remember it was Maynard who kind of served one into right field earlier. Was that was the same inning, right? It's been a long inning.
0-2, swing and a miss. The most interesting drop third strike I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's just
a 1-6-3 strikeout to end the 5th. I've never seen anything like it, but it got the job done. 9-6 after 5, top of the 6th when we return here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real, reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Top of the 6th inning back here at VA Memorial Stadium. Symmes Valley fights back, makes it a 3-run ball game with a 6-run 5th inning.
Yeah, heads-up play from Cheadle there in that last inning. You had a strike 3 with obviously with 2 outs. It doesn't matter if first base is occupied, and catcher maybe not sure that they called the strike 3, comes up throwing, and nonetheless still could have had the play there at second base all the same, but the throw was away from the bag, so Cheadle heads up enough to pick it and throw to first. And Southeastern defense was challenged that inning and kind of did a little bit to themselves, but Symmes Valley, to their credit, I like how they started the inning just trying to put some pressure on, and then batter by batter, you can see the confidence go up, and they started to put better swings. Now we're right here in the ball game at 9-6.
9-1-2 due up for the Panthers. Landon Brown, Lane Williams, and Gage Cheadle. Grady Holland still on the mound for the Vikings as they're right back in this district final. 2-6-3 strikeout to end the inning. Would have been a run, too. Wow.
Well, you spend enough time at the ballpark. What do they say? You always see something that you
That's a new one.
haven't seen before.
That's a new one. But a great play by Gage Cheadle just to pick the throw.
Yes.
From Baxter. There wouldn't have been any out at all.
Well, obviously the 6-run inning is incredible for Symmes Valley, but remember they still had a guy at third with 1 out. So so for Southeastern to avoid giving up that 7th run, that's huge here. Plus the McWhorter pitch count was starting to pile up on him.
4-pitch strikeout to begin the inning for Grady Holland. There's one away.
This is a huge stretch right here for Symmes Valley. Southeastern turns the order back over. You're trying to keep the momentum on your side. This is a big out here, trying to keep Williams off the bases.
Going back to McWhorter on the mound, now up to 9 strikeouts.
Do we have any idea of his pitch count?
I can tell you next half inning.
Okay, I've kept a lot of different notes, but I haven't been keeping the pitch by pitch.
Ground ball to the left side. Here's Korn. Across the diamond, 2 away.
Big out there, and again, Korn playing it well in front of the bag is the key there, because against a guy like Williams, he hits the ball that slow, and you're playing back behind the bag, you have no chance. So, again, I like the defensive positioning there. Korn makes a nice play, nice throw, and you talk about unique things. Remember the Southeastern inning, the first 2 pitches, 2 outs, and then the floodgates open. Same way that last inning just seemed like once Southeastern made a few poor decisions in the field, Symmes Valley offense really came alive.
Cheadle up the middle. That's his 2nd hit of the day. Had that 3 RBI triple in that 4th inning. 1 aboard with 2 outs.
Let's see here, still with a 3-run lead to play with 2 outs and the athleticism of Cheadle. Let's see if Coach Free pushes the run game here, or let's see if he'll let 3-4 just go ahead and swing away. They've been able to find the gap, obviously, 3 or 4 times today.
Colton Baxter, he's 1 for 2. Scored twice. Part of that 2-run first inning, singled in his first plate appearance. Part of the historic 2-6-3 strikeout to end the last half inning.
Couldn't tell if that was a pitch out or if he just kind of let the He's been throwing a lot of off speed. Might have just had that one get away a little bit more to the outer half.
Breaking ball into the left center field gap. Cheadle around second. He'll make it to third. Baxter on the throw will move up to second base. Back-to-back singles for the Panthers, second and third with 2 outs.
Yeah, good base running there from Baxter. Recognizes he rounded first, coming hard out of the box. Sees the center fielder come up throwing through the cut at 3. And he moves right up, which is important to take away that force and give Burns a chance to play a little add-on here. Southeastern's really been able to do some damage with 2 outs today.
Both Cheadle and Baxter now multi-hit games. Now first pitch swinging is Braden Burns to left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. As the 2-out hitting of Southeastern continues to dominate. 3 straight triples with 2 down here in the 6th inning for the Panthers.
Yeah, just can't say enough about the offensive improvement of the Southeastern club over the last year. Really been able to pick up their defense today.
Now the extra base hit machine, Drew Leach. Knocked in the first 2 runs of the game offensively for Southeastern. Through the infield, another base hit for Drew Leach. Burns will move up to third. It's 11 to 6.
Yeah, Southeastern hit parade continues, and it's all with 2 outs. They just keep the line moving, and just like that, they answer Symmes Valley's 6-run 5th inning, or top of the 6th, I should say, with 2 more of their own.
Drew Leach, Braden Burns, and Gage Cheadle now all 2 for 3 with 3 RBI and a triple. Colton Baxter also 2 for 3, just hasn't driven in any runs. It's 3 balls and no strikes now to Joey Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer 1 for 3. He tripled in the 4th. Really kicked off that 7-run inning for Southeastern after the first 2 batters were retired on as many pitches. Holland drops a breaking ball in the 3-1. The count is now full.
Holland certainly has a plus breaking ball, can throw it a lot of different counts. He's had trouble commanding the fastball at times.
3-2, swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Holland. So the Panthers bring home 2 more runs. They lead 11 to 6, home half of the 6th inning. When we return to Chillicothe, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Bottom of the 6th back here in Chillicothe. The first of 2 Division VI District Semifinals to take place here at the VA this afternoon. Game 2 kicking off. Scheduled for 1:30. It'll be Waterford and Eastern Brown. The winner of this one and that Waterford Eastern Brown game will face off in the district final in Division VI tomorrow. And we'll cap off the quadruple header with a pair of district finals, one in D6, one in D7. D6, Eastern Megs taking on Huntington, and then Division VII Southeast, or excuse me, there's a lot of South teams today. Southern and South Webster, Southeastern. Should be a fun day of baseball. A couple of number 1 and number 2 seeds, a lot of top baseball in the Southeast District. Also a couple of games being played down at OU. 8-9-1 due up for the Vikings this half inning.
Well, we'll see how the Green-Trimble game goes today. Obviously, Green, the 2 seed, has an outstanding pitcher, but a lot of people felt like that South Webster Racing Southern, a lot of people felt like those were the top 2 teams in the entire Division VII bracket.
You excited for that one?
Well, I think it'll be a good game. I mean, very familiar with both of those coaches, both of those programs. I certainly think it'll be a good one.
McCorder works ahead to Grady Holland.
I think the Huntington Eastern Mega, if you just enjoy baseball, I think that's going to be outstanding. That could be a great matchup.
Well, and Shane, correct me if I'm wrong, but those 2 teams wouldn't have played last year, as I think Huntington was D3, and if I remember correctly, I think Eastern was D4.
Yeah,
so it's a matchup that we haven't seen.
It shows you a little bit about how the divisions spread things out just a little bit, especially in that 5, 6, 7 type of enrollment.
It's a Huntington team that came up just a few feet shy from at least forcing extra innings in a district final last season. It's an Eastern team that has had a lot of success in what was Division IV over the last handful of seasons.
And they're an old team. They're well coached, so they'll be a really tough opponent for Huntington today. But expect Coach Carroll to give the ball to Oyer, and you're talking about someone who's pitching a lot of good games. Still just a junior, I believe. But he's pitching a lot of big games already in his career.
Called strike 3 on the payoff pitch. 10 now for McCorder, 1 away here in the 6th.
Big pitch from McWhorter there, because you're just after, I don't even know what you want to call the 5th inning there. I'll let you name it. But you just just kind of a weird inning that can continue to grow legs and get away from Southeastern a little bit. Now if you're McWhorter, you're just trying to settle back in and finish this thing a little cleaner.
I think it was a fun inning. It was a game where Southeastern's up 9-0. There's some shenanigans that go along, and Symmes Valley brings it back to within 3.
I appreciate how Symmes Valley just continued to compete, and by doing so, they started to put a lot of pressure on the Southeastern infield, which is something we talked about in the earlier parts of the game, and just give them a lot of credit for not going away. And even now, they got a base runner. Again, I know it's 11-6, but after what we watched last inning, McWhorter starting to climb up there in pitch count, just doesn't seem nearly as comfortable as he was earlier in the game.
McWhorter, this will be pitch 101.
Yeah, so the pitch count certainly could be a factor.
It's the second hit batter of the day for McWhorter. And in the 9-hole, the left fielder, Jackson Fields, he's 2 for 2. He's reached base safely in all 3 plate appearances.
You know Coach Free doesn't want to have to go to another arm when he's, you're trying to win this game, but you're also peeking ahead to tomorrow.
Back to the top of the lineup now with Bronx Carpenter. He pops this one up to right. Gabe Oates comes in to make the grab, 2 away. Carpenter now 1 for 4.
Symmes Valley here, the ability just to win some of these 2-out spots, force more batters to the plate, gives you a chance, obviously, to score, but it also gives you a chance to maybe force Coach Free to another arm in the 7th inning.
Tanner Thompson, he's 0 for 1 with a couple of walks. Only 2 walks issued by McWhorter. Struck out in the 3rd inning.
Not a big deal.
1-1, a breaking ball, swing and a miss. 1-2 to Thompson.
See how aggressive Southeastern is here with the pitch count climbing. A lot of times, you extend the plate there a little bit, 1-2. Let's see if they come at the hitter a little bit more.
Out of the stretch now, McWhorter. A time called in the box prior to the pitch. McWhorter now up to 105. Shane, if you're Coach Free, do you push that 125 limit or do you go to another arm next inning?
Yeah, I think with McWhorter's arm and training and so forth, he'll be fine there. I don't worry about that part of it, especially with, he would be off for another week before he would throw possibly again, but a big strikeout there to end the inning.
11 strikeouts now for Carson McWhorter. After 6, Southeastern leads Symmes Valley 11-6, top of the 7th. When we come back to VA Memorial Stadium. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
Look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. It's 11-6, Southeastern leading Symmes Valley. Bottom third of the order due up for the Panthers with Carson McWhorter, C.J. Huff, and Landon Brown. As Grady Holland remains on the mound for Symmes Valley.
Looks like Burns. It's out of our sight now, but if I recognize the number when they were running out of the dugout there, it looked like the sophomore Burns going down to throw a little bit.
Would be his 7th appearance of this season.
I want to save Pfeiffer and Leach for tomorrow if you're Southeastern.
One-0 pop down the left field line. Here's Asher Maynard moving towards the party deck. Can't get there. It's 1-1.
I imagine, what'd you say, right around 103, 104? I imagine
105, I believe.
Yeah, I imagine McWhorter will come back out for a hitter or two, but I could be wrong there. Depends on how he's feeling. There's been so much time off late in the year, you don't know exactly how much he has thrown.
Two-one to right center. Field and Thompson coming together, but neither can get there. Southeastern continues to work that right center field gap, and McWhorter's going to look to make it 3. Relay in from right is not in time. Sliding safely into third is McWhorter. Second hit of the day for the junior.
Yeah, off the bat, I didn't think the ball was hit that well, but just carries a little bit, and it was working away from the center fielder, who was the one that was much closer to it. The right fielder had a much longer route to the ball, and once the ball hits the turf, again, Southeastern showing off a little bit of that athleticism we talked about earlier, and a chance to play a little add-on here.
4th triple of the day for Southeastern. And Shane, something you talked about early on was it was a Southeastern team that you've seen much more comfortable going backside, and boy, has that come to fruition here today.
Well, they've always been well-schooled in maybe trying to fundamentally do that, but what's happened is a lot of these guys, it's funny how when freshman, sophomore in the grade column turns junior, senior, how a little bit more strength, a little bit bigger, faster, stronger, a little bit more athleticism, and it's really paid off today. There's a good piece of hitting.
Up the middle, C.J. Huff. His first hit of the day and gets an RBI as well. 12-6, Southeastern leading.
Yeah, Huff just a sophomore, and guy down at third, less than 2 outs. The number one thing you can't do, strike out. He just throws the bat at it, puts it in play, and something good happens.
$11 of the 12 Southeastern runs have been batted in. Now the 9-hole Landon Brown throw down to first. Huff is back in safely.
I thought he offered at the bunt there. Did they say he pulled it back? That's what I think Symmes Valley's questioning out of the. Okay, yeah, they've got that there. Yeah. That's the right call. He certainly had the bat out there offering at it.
So 0-1 to Landon Brown. And Shane trotting it. It does look like it was Braden Burns down in the bullpen for Southeastern. As Brown lays down a bunt right back to the pitcher, Holland. He'll go to first for the first down of the inning. Sack bunt for Landon Brown as the lineup turns over for the Panthers.
Pretty good read from Huff there. Off the bat, that bunt was popped up in the air a little bit. Huff had a pretty good look at it from that angle. Could tell that it was going to get down and was able to move up. So another RBI opportunity as you turn the order over for what? Is this the 5th time? Anytime your leadoff batter gets 5 at-bats in a game, it's usually a sign that it's going pretty good for you.
Williams 1 for 3, walked in the 4th inning. Had a single to kick things off in the first. 45 pitches for Grady Holland. 1-0 count to Williams.
Been kind of a bizarre game, the way the first 3 or 4 innings played out a little bit more the way you would think it would on paper, and then in the middle innings, the game just turned baseball, I guess. It just has a life of its own. And give Symmes Valley a ton of credit for their willingness to just not quit and keep coming. I mean, if you'd have told them 6 runs against McWhorter today, they'd like their chances, and Southeastern's offense has really been able to show up and really do it in a variety of ways. 4 or 5 different guys showing off some power and speed.
Two popped up. Hankins moving to his left will make the catch. 2 down here in the 7th.
Shortstop number 4.
Big out there. Now 2-out spot, chance to get out of it, but you're going to have to do it through some pretty good Southeastern hitters here, starting with Cheadle.
Cheadle 2 for 3. Had that 3 RBI triple in the 4th inning.
Job by Jones there, continuing to work hard. It's been a long day, long morning, I should say, back there for the catchers, and continuing to do a good job.
Pitch number 50 from Holland is laced down the left field line and foul. One hop to the party deck. It's 1-1.
Been impressed with the off-speed stuff of Holland, just a sophomore. His ability to command and throw the curveball a couple different ways. I think his fastball command continues to improve. I think this young man's got a bright future ahead of him.
1-1 up the middle, off the glove of Carpenter. Cheadle reaches safely. It's first and third with 2 outs for Southeastern.
Yeah, good news, bad news for the freshman Carpenter there. You know, obviously would have loved to have been able to field that cleanly and try to record the out. At least was able to knock it down. If that ball gets through into center field, it's going to be the 13th run for Southeastern. So you at least give your team a chance to stay in this 2-out spot. No run in yet, and see if you can get out of it.
3-hit day for Gage Cheadle. That should be a balk, I believe,
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah, he just dropped the ball in the rumble there.
So Huff will come home and score. That'll make it 13-6.
I've noticed that with a lot of pitchers. They have a lot of different things they do with the baseball sometimes, and that one just kind of fell out of the hand.
First pitch popped up to the left side. Jones giving chase, this one out of play.
Yeah, I really like this Jones kid. He plays really hard. And Dewey, what happens when your catcher plays hard, when your catcher has positive attitude, positive body language, that just goes all over your roster. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate how hard this young man plays. He's back there wearing the tools of ignorance, as we like to call them, and working this hard for 100-plus pitches. It kind of makes the other people look, if he's playing that hard, you might want to join him.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Colton Baxter. It's 2 for 3, a couple of singles, also walked in the 4th inning. He's come home to score all 3 times. He's reached base safely, this time down on strikes. 3rd strikeout for Grady Holland. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up here at VA Memorial Stadium. The Vikings, they need 7, and they got 3 outs to do it. Winner moves on to the district final tomorrow afternoon. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Back here in Chillicothe, it's 13-6, bottom of the 7th inning. Symmes Valley down to their final 3 outs. They need 7 runs. Meat of the order coming up. 3-4-5, Will Jones, Andy Stroud, and Tanner Korn. 1 hit amongst the three Vikings. Carson McWhorter back onto the mound for Southeastern. He's got about 20 pitches left on the limit. I believe the last I saw was 105 on the final strikeout to Thompson to end the sixth. Saw Braden Burns warming up the last half inning, so you imagine that is who Coach Ron Free would go to if needed here in the seventh inning.
Yeah, last call for Symmes Valley. Order needs to be efficient here to get going, but you're asking me about putting him back out there. There's a lot of guys you wouldn't, but this young man's been pretty well trained. He's taking care of his arm, and is this point in the year has really just had that one inning of the stressful pitches. Everything else has been pretty, for the most part, pretty comfortable.
Also, with the way the tournament is laid out, guaranteed a fair amount of time off if they were to advance.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's got to come back and play defense tomorrow for his team, so you always worry about that a little bit in the arm. But
so is that a situation where, depending on the player, maybe you look to put him at first base, or if you just want the bat, DH him?
Well, I think some people do. I don't want to speak for Coach Free. I know a lot of times if Pfeiffer comes to the mound, maybe McWhorter would go to that second base spot. Coach Free's got a couple options there tomorrow. I mean, Drew Leach has thrown some pretty big innings, but I would think my guess would be the senior Pfeiffer in terms of the career he's had. I know he has had a lot of experience there on the mound.
So the 0-2 just off the outside corner. It's 1-2 to Will Jones. Jones singled and came around to score in the fifth. He's 1 for 2, also hit by a pitch in the fourth inning. He's been one of the most productive players at the plate for the Vikings this season, as he fouls this one off to stay alive. One-two, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 12 for McWhorter.
Well, and that's the thing with McWhorter. I mean, obviously the stuff has been as dominant as normal with 12 Ks, but you just go back to that one inning there where it just goes to show you what we've talked about. Put pressure on high school defenses, and sometimes they'll not only make the physical mistake, but they'll make the mental mistakes. And I thought Southeastern, they ended up forcing about 5 or 6 outs in that particular inning.
Andy Stroud, first pitch swinging, cannon corn for Lane Williams in center. Vikings down to their final out.
Been impressed with this Symmes Valley group today and the way they've kept coming. They're a pretty young roster. They say goodbye to 2 or 3 key seniors, but, man, they've got a nice core group of young kids. I expect to see them back on this stage a year from now.
Now the starting pitcher for the Vikings, Tanner Korn. And Shane, game number 5 for us here in our coverage of district tournament baseball. We still haven't had a lead change, but among the 5 games, I think this is the most fight we've seen out of that team that's trailing come the later innings.
No question, especially when you consider they were down 9-0 with a arm like McWhorter on the hill.
Korn pops it up. Leach moving towards the barricade, runs out of room. 1-1 to Tanner Korn.
Good hustle all the way around. Leach gets to the fence.
Covered some ground as well.
McWhorter came off the mound and got all the way over there himself.
So McWhorter now up to 114 pitches. 1-1, a called strike. Vikings down to their final K.
Again, if you're Coach Free, you want to be able to let your guy finish it here. You understand that he's got to come get this guy.
2-2, swing and a miss. Bankers dozen from a quarter, and Southeastern takes the district semifinal by a score of 13-6.
Good all-around win for Southeastern. Obviously the 13 case from McWhorter, but I think a big story today is the Southeastern offense. A little bit more explosive than they ever could have been a year ago. Kind of shaping into a more complete team, and boy, the way they pitch and on most days defend, that makes them pretty dangerous.
13-6 the final. Southeastern will be back here at the VA tomorrow, 5 p.m. in the district in the district final. In Division VI, they'll have the winner of our next game, Waterford and Eastern Brown. First pitch originally slated for 1:30, could be around 1:45. We'll keep you updated on that start time. We'll take a quick break, come back for some final thoughts of Game 1 of our quadruple header here at the VA today on this Saturday. You've been watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Back here in Chillicothe, a 13-6 final. Southeastern over Symmes Valley to advance to the Division VI District Final tomorrow back here at the VA. 5 p.m. They'll have Waterford or Eastern Brown, the winner of our next game. Now slated for a 1:40 first pitch is Game 2 of our quadruple header here this afternoon. We'll quickly go through the book, and then Shane and I will give some final thoughts about Game 1 for us here today. So we'll start with Symmes Valley. At the plate, Bronx Carpenter goes 1 for 4. Did drive in a run, scored as well. Tanner Thompson goes 0 for 2, but was able to score once and did technically drive in a run on a walk in the 5th inning. Will Jones 1 for 3, scored and drove in a run. Asher Maynard goes 1 for 3, came around to score. Grady Holland goes 0 for 3, but did come around to score. He reached on an error, and then Jackson Fields in the 9th spot. Potentially the most productive day for the Vikings at the plate. He goes 2 for 2 with a run scored. For the Panthers, there's a lot to go over offensively. 13 runs and about 13 hits as well, so you'll just have to bear with me here. Lane Williams 1 for 4. He scored twice. Gage Cheadle 3 for 4. Drove in 3, scored twice as well. Colton Baxter didn't drive anybody in, but goes 2 for 4 with 3 runs scored. Braden Burns 2 for 3, drove in 3. Drew Leach also 2 for 3. He drove in 3 runs as well. Joey Pfeiffer goes 1 for 4 with a run scored. Carson McWhorter, we'll get to what he did on the mound in a moment, but at the plate goes 2 for 4. Had a triple in the 7th inning, drove in a run and scored twice. CJ Huff 1 for 2, scored twice and drove in a run. And Landon Brown, despite going 0 for 3, did come around to score 1 time. Carson McWhorter on the mound goes 7 innings. I believe that is his 7th complete game of the season. 5 hits, 4 runs earned. He ended up giving up 6 total. 13 strikeouts, 12 of them on the swing. He's now up to 112 on the season.
Well, there's 3 things that jump out at me. One, we'll start with McWhorter. I thought for 6 of the frames today, he was as dominant as expected. Obviously, that 1 inning kind of got away from him a little bit, but outstanding job by McWhorter and Baxter there in the Southeastern battery. And I also want to highlight Symmes Valley and their ability to stay with it and come back. They come all the way back to 9-6 and make a game out of this. And real impressed with some of their older guys that they'll say goodbye to. But I also feel like there's a young core that's going to have them back here on this stage. Really, really impressed by them. And then the third thing that that's really interesting to me is over the last year, the improvement of the Southeastern offense. We talked about it as they get older, having a little bit more pop in the bat, a little bit more athleticism, a little bit more speed. They had what you said four triples today with another double to add on to that, and it was coming from different spots of the batting order. And again, in this ballpark, when you hit the ball with a little bit of pop into the gaps, what normally might be a double all year long can turn into triples and extra RBIs on a day like today. So good baseball game. I know we've got a bunch of baseball ahead, so hopefully everyone will stay with us, get comfortable here on Sosa today. But that was a good start for Southeastern to advance on to a district championship and see what tomorrow will bring.
3 more games coming your way here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health. Game 2, Waterford and Eastern Brown, originally slated for a 1:31 pitch. It'll be about 1:40. And then a pair of district finals, one in Division VI, Huntington and Eastern Meigs, followed up by our finale, Division VII District Final, South Webster and Southern. Shane, you said you were interested in that one, as those are some teams you're familiar with coming from a Division VII school yourself.
Well, I'll start with that 4 o'clock game. That Huntington Eastern game's got a chance to be a really, really good one. And then I think in Division VII, a lot of people felt like those were two, if not the two best, certainly two of the top, say, 3 in that entire Division VII bracket. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out.
All righty, for Game 1, that'll wrap up our coverage of Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball. For Shane Combs, I'm Dewey Daly saying so long from VA Memorial Stadium in Chillicothe. You've been watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.